This episode brought to you by Photobiz.com, websites for the world's most creative people. Visit Photobiz.com and use promo code SHUTTER to take 15% off the setup price of your portfolio site. Offer valid until December 31st.
I'm Sal Sincata, and this is Shutter Network. Morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world, welcome to Shutter Network. And we've got a great show for you. Of course, it's Portrait Month this month, and typically, no matter where you are in the world, it's that time of year where families are thinking about family portraits and a whole host of other options. So we got a great show lined up for you today. We got Nate from Sticky Albums who's going to be here talking about some great marketing ideas and concepts. In addition, I'm going to be trying to give you 5 ideas to really capitalize on Portrait Month. So don't underestimate how valuable this time of year can be for your business. End of day, whether you're a wedding photographer, family, baby, seniors, doesn't matter. You really want to take advantage of this point in the calendar year because people are getting ready for Christmas. They're getting ready for holiday cards. The kids are home from college, and it's usually the one time that they can bring everybody together for a giant family portrait. You've got the fall colors in certain parts of the United States and around the world for that matter. So you really want to be diligent in taking advantage of these things. Now, I will tell you in the spirit of all that, if in your business you're waiting until the month starts to start advertising and marketing and thinking about things, you're making a huge mistake in your business. What I want you to do is get a calendar, even if you put something on a wall, and start forecasting. So for example, if October and November are going to be Portrait Month in your business, in your world, you can't wait till October to start thinking about it. This is something you should be putting on your calendar in August. Start planning marketing ideas for Family Portrait Month. So in August and September, they give you enough lead time. Well, how are you producing flyers? How are you, designing ads? Where are you running these ads? These things all take time to bring together. And that's a big mistake I see a lot of studios make is they're reacting to the business. They're not planning for the business. And so there's been several studios I've sat down personally, just in doing some one-on-one coaching and consulting. And I'm like, okay, they're like, we're really slow in, February. That's a perfect example, right? February is Valentine's Day. How many of you wait until January to start thinking about Valentine's Day? Or wait until like February 1st to start thinking about Valentine's Day? Well, no way, man. This is something that has to start happening in November and December. You got to start thinking about what is your marketing plan going to be so that you can shoot it, edit it, sell it, print it, and have it in their hands in time for Valentine's Day. Those are the kind of things you got to start doing. So you've got to get in this habit of being 60 days out within your business, right? So you've got to start thinking 30, 60, 90 days all the time. It's got to be this rolling calendar. So let's get going here. So first up, Client for Life. And so with Client for Life, I'm not sure how many of you are doing this within your own business. What we do is in our top level packages, we offer our wedding clients something called Client for Life. And there is value to it, right? So if you think about what are you charging per session, $199 per session, $299 per session, associate that value and at least give it a 5-year value. So for example, if you're charging $200 for a session fee, make the Client for Life program $1,000 or $999, something in that range. So that there has to be perceived value here and real value because you're giving it up. And the way Client for Life works is once a year, every year, they get a free session. Not a free session, free pictures, free prints, free digital negatives, free. No, that's not what we're doing. Once a year, they get a free session. You want to have a sale tied to this. If you don't have a sale tied to it, there's absolutely no point in running this program. It's a complete waste of time for you. And that's what we can't do. So now, let's say you've never run this program before. Here's an idea for you. Institute the Client for Life program. You can put that in your high school seniors. With your seniors, you can do that with your weddings as well. Put it in your top level package, make it a pull through. Let's say you've been following our principles and you're already doing a Client for Life. What are you waiting for? Get them into your studio, start using this. So draft an email blast, put it together, email all your clients who have Client for Life and remind them, hey guys, take advantage of our Client for Life program. October is Family Portrait Month. We'd love to get you into our studio or on location. Here's some dates that are available. Let's get this thing moving, right? We want to bring money into the studio. You're not going to be able to bring money in your studio if you don't get people in front of your camera. It's simple. And so this becomes a way where it's built in. It's not costing you anything for marketing or advertising. It's sweat equity. You just have to start thinking about it and put together a promotional piece for it, right? So let's do that. That's item number one. These are easy things we're going to talk about today to allow you to make more money within your business. Next up, bridal sessions. If you've been following our model at all, you know I produce these things called signature edits, right? These are high-level edits, very dramatic, of the bride and groom, architecture's involved, sunsets are involved, off-camera flash, something different, something dramatic. Why not run a promotional sale to do just bridal portraits? They don't have to be your bride and groom. That's the beautiful part about it. I shoot probably 7 to 10 people a year or couples a year that had their wedding photos done by someone else and come to us after the fact because they didn't feel like they got that staple shot they were looking for. Okay, why wouldn't I want to do that? That's free money. And in many cases, they spend $1,500 to $2,000 in our studio, which is more than they probably paid their photographer for the entire wedding. I got news for you. I'll take a bridal session over a full wedding any day of the week. It's very, very profitable. But if you don't even advertise it or market it, people don't even know it exists. So how can you get the word out on this? Reach out to everyone you know. Start working with local vendors. Start producing stuff. What about Facebook campaigns? Facebook campaigns work. And if you haven't used or tried a Facebook campaign, or maybe you've tried it with no success, let's stop here for a second and talk about it. Facebook has a new way of running their campaigns, right? They're called a campaign, and then underneath a campaign is an ad set, and then underneath an ad set are individual ads. So let's talk about that for a second. A campaign might be Bridal Portrait Month. Maybe that's the campaign name. Now within Bridal Portrait Month, you're gonna have a different ad set. So maybe Bridal Portrait Month, you're gonna have an ad set that targets just brides, okay? I'm making things up here. They target just brides. Then maybe there's gonna be another ad set that targets just grooms. And then maybe there's gonna be another ad set that targets parents of the bride. Things like that. That's a way to think of an ad set, a different set of grouping. Now, if you're gonna target just brides, the ads that are underneath the ad set, hopefully this is all making sense, the ads that are underneath the ad set are gonna be geared towards the bride, right? So maybe they're more feminine images. So that could be, I think you can run up to 5 different ads in an individual ad set. So you would pick 5 different images and you'll be surprised, man. You'll learn so much because one ad that you think is your best image might not actually resonate well, might not get as many clicks, might not get as many likes as an image that is maybe a little bit different, a little more architecture or a beauty shot. So select 5 different images to see what is going to do better within the given ad set. I'm hoping this makes sense. We do this all the time. And if you don't understand how that Facebook ad is going to work, it's going to show up on the right-hand side of the screen when you're on Facebook, or it's going to show up in the news feed on your phone or the news feed on Facebook on the computer. So these are the kind of things you can start doing, and you can set budgets. You can limit it to $10 a day, $25 a day, $50 a day. But if you run this and you book one person, tell me how it's not worth it. It's totally worth it. Not only is your name getting out there, but the client you book is going to pay for all the advertising you've been doing. That's just if you book one. Now, how do you lead that to get a click through? This is where I see a lot of photographers in studios struggle. They go, hey man, I've tried Facebook advertising, it doesn't work. Okay, what's your call to action? If it's just click through to go to your website, of course that's not going to work. They're all going to click to your website. They're going to look around. Maybe they call you, maybe they don't. That's not what you want to do. So run a campaign that says, win a free bridal session. Get back in your wedding dress and let's do something dramatic, right? Come up with your ad campaign, do something like that. Then what's the goal of the campaign? You don't want them to just go to your website. You want to collect the name. So click to win a free bridal session worth $2,000, right? Whatever number you want to come up with. Give them obviously product. It's not false advertising. Give them product that matches the number. Maybe it's a $500 value, maybe it's a $1,000 value. You're going to give them a photo session and a free 11 by 16, whatever the case may be. Or just a photo session, value it at $300 and give them nothing. When they click on that, they should go to your website and there should be a registration form. Now there's a lot of tools out there that do it. So if you're on WordPress, there's tools like Ninja Forms that are just plugins that will work where you can collect their name, email, phone number. That's it. Make it easy for them to register. Now, think about this. If you get 50 people to register, you've got 50 names that you can market to for the next 60 days. You can send email marketing to them. You can show them before and after pictures. You can write a little bio around what goes into a bridal session. All these things are things you can start doing because you have the name. This is where people fail. They run a Facebook campaign and then it just drives them to the website. They don't know who came, right? And you'll see the stats. Oh, 1,000 clicks. But you didn't get 1,000 new clients. The value is in collecting the email address so that you can market to them over and over again. And if they decide to opt out, so be it. But that's where you've got to find the value. So hopefully that makes sense. This is where using Facebook campaigns can really, really help your business. Next, it is Family Portrait Month. So what are you doing to highlight that, to capitalize that? In every town you're at, they all have those city flyers that go out, right? Those horribly designed magazines that go out. Don't buy a quarter-page ad in one of those magazines. Buy a full-page ad and showcase a badass family portrait. That's one thing you can do. Yes, that's going to cost you money. That's okay. The other thing you can do is put together, for free, sweat equity again, is put together a marketing campaign that targets your client base. And so what I want you to do there is go through your database for the last 2 years, draft together a nice email, simple, easy to read, get to the point. October's Family Portrait Month, November's Family Portrait Month, right? This is a self-proclaimed month, by the way. But October and November, Family Portrait Month. When was the last time you had an updated family portrait? That's what you want to highlight. We're doing 50% off your family portrait, booked by October 15th, booked by October 31st. Pick a date. Get them out there, get them doing it. Do mini sessions, right? So do 30-minute sessions, 15-minute sessions, $49 session fee, $99 session fee. Get things moving. I'm going to revert back to something I did several years ago. I rented out Busch Stadium. So here in St. Louis, I rented out the entire stadium, and what we did was we had mini sessions come through, and we charged $300 per mini session, and we ended up selling 10 sessions at $300 a pop. Okay, well, just on the session fees, I brought in $3,000. After that, though, don't you think my clients spent a significant amount of money being able to get pictures inside of Busch Stadium? That's a unique venue. We did a unique promotion, and overall, this campaign generated, was several years back, in that $10,000 to $12,000 range of sales all in. Well, that more than covered the cost of renting the stadium, and for a single day's worth of work, it was perfect. These are the kind of things you got to start thinking about for your business and how to differentiate it, right? So take advantage of the list you already have. Start working that list of clients. Get them back into your studio. They're familiar with your studio. They want to spend money with you. You just got to give them a reason to. Remember, discount the session fee. You're not giving them everything, right? It can't be $99 session fee and a 16 by 24 and we'll do your laundry too. Like, it can't be that way. It doesn't make any sense. So you've got to make money. And so I'd rather lose money on the session fee, but make money on the post sales. Next, seniors. Something you can consider doing with high school seniors is offering every high school senior a free family session. We do this all the time with our seniors. So as they come through, or go back through your list, but as they come through, offer them a free family session. We hear the objection all the time. Kids will come in and their siblings away at college, and the parents will go, "Oh my God, I love all these pictures, but I can't buy the big one because I don't have a big one of their sister. I don't have a big one of their brother." I say the same thing. Mom, we can't punish Susie because Ryan didn't come through here, right? We can't do that. But that doesn't make any sense, that answer alone. So what I say in offering up with that answer, I say, "Mom, here's something we can do. We'll give you a free family session. When does Ryan come back from college?" "Well, he's back home around November." "Great. We'll do a free family session, and I promise you I'll get you something just as gorgeous of Ryan for your home, right? So that you can have the same thing for both." And all of a sudden, the wheels start turning in their head. Because I'll say, "Mom, when was the last time you had a family portrait?" Usually it's when the kids were like 3 to 10 years old, somewhere in that range. So they haven't had an updated portrait in 10 plus years. I want to capitalize on that, but I have to make it easy for my clients to do it. The money's not in the session fee. The money is in the sales afterwards, selling them the canvas, selling them the prints, selling them the wallet, selling them the Christmas cards. So why do we need to make $99 on our session fee? Now, if you're a shoot and burner, watch our previous episode, but if you're a shoot and burner, you're freaking out because you don't operate this way. You make your money up front. You charge $59, $99 and give them a CD of images. Well, that's the most ridiculous business model I've ever heard in my life. It doesn't work. You're going to go out of business. That's not real money. You've got to figure out how to cover your expenses and, of course, make a profit, because that's why every business is in business, is to make money. We've got to stop feeling bad as artists that we want to make money, we want to be successful. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be successful. It's okay to make money. I give you permission. We can do it. And so you've got to stop thinking that way. There's nothing glamorous about being a starving artist. It's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life. And so start behaving like business people and understand that $99 for an hour of work, you're not making $100 an hour. Wake up. That's not how much money you're making. You've got expenses, you've got overhead, you've got camera equipment, you've got insurance, you've got deliverables, you've got retirement, and on and on and on. The list goes on forever. This is where you're making, you have to make money. So the session fee, I'm willing to waive, but we've got to start trying to sell them stuff when we bring them in. So seniors, you can go after this immediately. Start going through your index of clients, your database of clients, and start selling them on the fact that it's Family Portrait Month. Okay, last one, 5 ideas. Work with local schools and charities. You can do this. So connect. Every high school has a booster club trying to raise money. Every charity in your area is running fundraisers. Connect with them. Give them a free session fee. You can start doing this now. When we were growing our business, we were working with anywhere from 30 to 40 charities a year in order to get our name out there, because I'm not making money on the session fee. The money comes in from the print sales. So all I care about is getting people in front of my camera. If you're growing your business whether you're starting out or established, you need to shoot people. You need to photograph people, right? That's where you're making your money. So worry less about making money on the session fee and worry more about getting people in front of your camera. And there's a multitude of ways to do it. This is yet one of them. You can raffle off a free session fee valued at $299, right? A 30-minute session, a 1-hour session valued at $299, $199, whatever you charge for your session fee. That's all it includes is the session. Or you can make the value higher and say a free 11 by 16. You know that if somebody comes in front of you for a portrait session for 1 hour, they invest in wardrobe, they drive to the location, maybe they're taking half a day at work, they are not going to just get an 11/16. If they do, there's something else wrong with your process. That means you're making it too difficult for them to buy with you. We want to make it easy for them to buy with you. So I really hope that these 5 ideas have gotten you excited and gotten you thinking about how you're going to make money this October, this November in your business. And we'll talk more as we start approaching next year on ideas for next year. But I hope this is enough to get you going right now. So we've got some great show for you. Like I said, we got Nate coming up next. Don't go away with Sticky Albums. We're going to talk about how to use his product and kind of dovetail it into some of the ideas I've given you here. Even if you're a Sticky user, pay attention to what's up next. Also, right, we've got some great giveaways for you. So we're giving away 3 20 by 30 canvases from Virtuoso, so you can use those to fulfill your client orders, or you can use them for samples in your studio, and a free year Sticky Albums so that you have that for marketing efforts, whether you're working with vendors or your clients. So, but here's what I need you to do. I need you to get social. Hashtag Shutter Network or BT Shutter on Facebook. Let us know your aha moment. What's the moment that's resonating for you, that's clicking for you, that's getting you to see and think about things differently, and that's going to help you take your business to that next level. So don't go away. We'll be right back after the break with Nate from Sticky Albums.
This segment brought to you by Sticky Albums. Book more clients and increase sales with custom mobile photo apps. Save $50 by using code SN50 at checkout. Offer valid through the end of October.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm here with Nate from Sticky Albums, and we're going to continue the theme here with it being just Portrait Month. And I want to talk to Nate a little bit about marketing and how we can use Sticky Albums to further the message, increase our business, and awareness. It's all about awareness. If people don't know you exist, they're going to go other places and get their family portraits taken and just not get you the same exposure. And don't get me wrong, Facebook is great, but we've been really using Sticky Albums in our business to just further that message and just create a level of awareness. So with that being said, Nate, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. It's always fun to be on, Sal. I appreciate it.
And talk to me, man. How are things going in your world? It's always exciting when we talk. I feel like cameras should just be rolling on us while we're having all these outside discussions and conversations.
Always, yeah. It's good. You can never sleep, man. It's fun. It's fun being an entrepreneur. And I love working with photographers because they like that entrepreneur spirit. It's been a fun ride. We've been working together for over a couple of years now. This year we relaunched Sticky Albums completely, which was scary but exciting, and we've won an award for it, and our customers are loving it. It's good stuff. So yeah, let's start at the beginning.
Well, Nate, I want to interrupt you a second because it's funny you say that. I think back. I get asked all the time, how long do you know Nate? How did you meet Nate? And you're right. If we go back about 3 years ago, I think it was, I was on tour. Traveling the U.S. What did we meet? Was it in Minnesota?
You were in the Minneapolis area.
Minneapolis. and you came up to me, you showed me what was then Sticky Albums, and I think I remember saying to you, either you do this or I'm going to steal this idea from you. And,
Exactly what you said. Yeah.
and dude, I've been a big supporter ever since. It's a great idea, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit. So go ahead, buddy. Where were you at?
So I was doing high school senior photography on the side as a day, like in addition to my day job, and I wanted to get the word out about my portraits. I knew that, like any business, word of mouth is king. All of my customers, 90% of my customers were coming from word of mouth referrals. And I was making custom business cards and all the old shit that, I mean, you can still do it today, but it wasn't scaling. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. One of my seniors finally said, Nate, I don't want to carry paper. And I was like, okay, what about if I made you your own custom app for your phone? And she's just like, yes. And I instantly knew it was a killer deal, one of the best ideas I've ever had, and I had to run with it and give it to not just my own business and customers. I had to build something to make it easy for all photographers, and it's been a crazy ride. We've got over 5,000 photographers using Sticky Albums now. One of the fun stats we just had this year, over 2.5 million people, different people, have looked at a Sticky Album.
That's incredible.
It's pretty sweet. So what is a Sticky Album? It lets you put your client's face on their own app icon. That tiny little feature, putting your client's face on their own app. People go nuts for it, but more importantly, it becomes a conversation starter. We all know Marketing 101 is what? Getting other people to talk about you. It's one thing to pass out your own business card, but self-promotion is only effective to it's all one-to-one, right? What if all of a sudden all your customers are your number one salespeople, your number one marketers? Not just your portrait customers, but what about other small businesses or foundations you're partnering with? Getting them to talk about you. That's real marketing, and that's what Sticky Albums enables.
Without a doubt, we've been using Sticky Albums in our business, and I got to be honest with you though, Nate, and I'm curious your thoughts. Definitely, without a doubt, you've got a subscriber base that's growing. People are using the product. I find that when I run into people and I ask, I'm like, well, okay, are you using Sticky Albums? A lot of people will say, yes, we're using Sticky Albums. A lot of people will say, I have a Sticky Albums account, I just haven't started using it yet. This part of it is kind of concerning to me, just as a coach and an entrepreneur myself, and as I try and coach photographers to start incorporating into their business. The tool is easy to use. Yeah. But what I think is happening is photographers see it, they get excited about it, but they don't really know how to incorporate it into their business. So I really want to talk a little bit about that. So even if you've never heard of Sticky Albums before, welcome. If you have heard of Sticky Albums and you have an account, but you're not really using it to its potential, start paying attention, because that's what I want to talk about at the moment. So
yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because we ran into that ourselves too, and it was in our data. Like, everybody's jumping on, they say they love it, and then they get busy. And so what's great is when you become a member, we have a huge commitment to education. And so whether you're on our newsletter or you're a customer, we are sending you best practice tips each step of the way. So that we've seen huge increase in engagement and people making more apps. So what we recommend is you save any digital product, especially a mobile app, until the end of the sales cycle. So number one, this is not going to hurt your print sales. You save it as a great pull-through incentive until you're done with the session. Hey, I've got a special present for you. Now you can have your favorite pictures on your own app. And then people start coming in and saying, hey, how do I get an app like Julie's got? Perfect time to make it a pull-through. Actually, it's not for sale, or it's $400 a la carte. If you don't want to sell it a la carte.
Punish bad behavior, Nate. It's not available for free.
Exactly.
It's got to be a la carte. I want to elaborate on that point a little bit too, just so everyone out there knows. The way we use Sticky Albums in our business is it's on our pricing sheet, a la carte, or you can go with, like, so for weddings, for example, we use Sticky Albums in our black label, our top level packaging. For seniors, you can either put it in your package or do what Nate's saying here, which is just, it's a surprise gift. So imagine after they come in to see their prints, you deliver that to them as a surprise. Or within weddings, what I've started doing, Nate, at least for 2014 weddings, right? Because everything in the world of weddings is a year out. And so for 2014 weddings, what I've started doing, because it wasn't on my pricing sheet when I was selling these weddings in 2013, what I started doing now was I'm sending it to my brides while they're on their honeymoon. and they're flipping out because they're seeing 25, 30, 40 pictures on their iPhone, and it's just this huge value add. And one of the coolest features I love is that the shareability of the app, right? I can share it via, I'm sure there's other ways, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, and then of course texting it. These are the kind of things I think that make the tool gold, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's huge, man. I think, so let's talk about sharing, because that's what really drives referrals, right? It's letting people share their experience with you. And so we've done hours and hours and hours of work on the back end to make it easier to share. The one distinction to note is nobody has to install anything special. You don't, and more importantly, your clients don't. We all know how to share a link today. That's not rocket science. With any link, you can share a number of ways, whether it's email, text message. And one of the cool features we've learned is people were sometimes hesitant to share their full album of like 20 pictures. Maybe they don't like the way they're looking one smile or something like that, right? And they feel like it's a little too self-promotional to blast their friends or to show all of the pictures from a certain event. So we added this little detail called single photo sharing. So now when they're on one image they like the best, they can share that one image.
That's awesome.
And it's all these tiny little details that we're digging into that actually have big impact.
Yeah, I don't have that problem because most of my friends want many pictures of me for me to send and share with them. I'm just kidding. Nobody wants pictures of me, ever.
And so it works both for the bride or your client to feel like they're not being too boisterous. And two, you get more click-through on the receiver because they're not like, oh God, I got to look at all these pictures. They get one picture, and the ones that like it, they get there's two important details. One, there's your logo and your brand is still there.
Huge.
They know who took this picture. That's number one. Number two, there's a nice link back to the album. So if they like that first one, it's marketing 101 and education, right? You want to give them, dribble it instead of overwhelming with something. Just do it in steps, right? You break it down. So here's just one image. You like it? Here, go look at more. And now they're like, wow, this is great. And now they, of course, know how to reach you.
So Nate, hold on. I want to come back. Everything you're saying is spot on, right? And I say it's spot on not from a salesy perspective. It's spot on because it's what we're doing in our actual business, right? Those of you out there know we shoot 35 to 45 weddings a year. We do 100 to 150 portrait sessions a year. This is very important in our business, and it's the future. Almost every client out there wants some level of digital asset. And if you're that photographer who's out there struggling because you say, all my clients want digital files, digital files, digital files. Yes, they do, and you can watch the previous episode to hear my thoughts on shooting and burning. Yes, they want some form of digital assets, but have you ever asked yourself why? One of the reasons they want those digital assets, in my opinion, is for things like social media, for things like sharing with their friends and family. So this makes it easy to address that question. And we put up fully edited images on a sticky album.
Yep.
But Nate, this is where I wanted to elaborate on it. I don't know if you saw a couple of weeks ago, it was a Sunday, and I was on social media, I was on Facebook, and I said, okay, everybody, because I wanted to show how there's no excuse for not doing this with your business. Forget your clients, just your business in general. There's absolutely no reason not to be doing something like this. So I said, okay, everybody, it's 2 o'clock. I said, and here's what I'm about to do to show you how easy it is to do. I'm going to get my images up to Animoto, create an Animoto slideshow. I'm going to get the images into a sticky album. I'm then going to post it on my Facebook site, post it on my blog, and send it to my clients. Go. And I timed it. And I believe, off the top of my head, it was 35 minutes from beginning to end. And if you're a business person and you don't have 35 minutes to invest in getting that stuff out there, I'm going to make the argument you're not really a business person, because I just hit 3 or 4 different platforms, and got this out to my clients, and the images are everywhere. I think that's powerful, Nate.
Yeah, the answer is you go back and you look at the share data, right? I get emails every day of people saying, oh my God, I just built my first sticky album and I've got 100 unique views already the first day. 100 unique people have looked at your images and your brand in a day.
The key is, though, the 100 people that have looked at it are not just random people. It's 100 people, even if it's 50 people. In my opinion, it's 50 qualified people. 50 people that I would never have direct access to in this family, whether it's the bride and groom's family or the high school seniors family. I would never have access to that. So it's not like it's Facebook. I'm not looking for 5,000 people to like my photo, right? It's really just about penetrating the market and getting in front of the right people, because again, from a wedding perspective, these are people who were at the wedding. They saw my work. They know who I am. So I'm hoping if I can get just one client out of that who now contacts me for family pictures, how is that not a win? That's a huge victory.
Totally. Yeah, let me give you one nugget I learned this year. So obviously, no brainer for weddings, sending on the honeymoon. That's perfect. For high school seniors, I've got photographers are texting the link. Guess what time? Lunchtime. Perfect, right? They're sitting around the friends they care about most.
Right.
They open their phone. They're freaking out about the pictures. They get them. We didn't say this earlier, but it bridges the gap between placing their order and getting their prints. That when they come in for their sales session, they're going nuts about, oh my God, I can't wait to have these pictures. I can't wait to show them off. Now they don't have to wait 2 weeks to do that. They leave and you can be texting them with their best pictures, and they're just ecstatic to go show everybody they know. And it's that in-person sharing. So let me talk just for a second about, yes, we have all of the single photo share, the share to social, all that stuff's valuable, right? You got to do it. But I'll argue what's even more important, what mobile enables, is the in-person sharing. We are all so busy. We're all bombarded with information all day long. It's those in-person conversations that really matter, that people really remember, and that convert into actual, the picking up the phone and calling you. So let's take the high school senior example. They get their app at the lunch table. Oh my God. They look at these great pictures. They give their phone to their friends and let them look at it right there. Guess what your client is talking about? Yes, they're talking about the pictures, but more importantly, they're talking about the experience they had working with you.
Absolutely. And then, of course, your logo and branding's all over this stuff while it's happening in real time. I think you're right. There's definitely value to posting stuff on Facebook and things of that nature. But I also think I like where you're saying it's more this in-person conversation. But take it a step further. I can't tell you how many places I've been, and I will never get away from this, where I'm like, hey, did you see my picture from XYZ? And, maybe it was a vacation trip or something like that, and it's on Facebook, not necessarily in a sticky album, right? Because it's not necessarily tied to an event. And then I got to go digging through Facebook, log in online, connect to the internet. I really like the fact that this app is available and everything's in one spot. So even from a practical ease of use perspective, I think the product is solid. But one other thing I want to touch on.
Into the technology behind that, because you bring up a good point. So everybody, there's all kinds of proofing tools out there, right? I argue mobile is not for proofing. People don't want to look at more than 20, 30 images on their phone. And the trade-off with a proofing solution is where's the link at? They got to dig into their inbox. They got to find the link. They lose that, right? So we solve that problem by putting the icon on their homepage. They never lose it. They always know where it's at. What's the second problem? They finally find it and they're like, oh, wait, hang on. The connection's slow here. Kills the conversation. The sticky element.
Well, it's no longer a conversation, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah. I don't want to proof from a wedding 800 images or 1,000 images on my phone. That is not the experience I want my clients to have. I think there's a complete difference in proofing your wedding day versus seeing the highlights of your wedding day.
And it's shared. It's in the data.
Right.
People share that shit like crazy when it's their favorite pictures. They share it to everybody. And people actually look. They're like, what am I going to look at several hundred images at? They're not going to.
No, nobody wants to.
Right? You always want people are so afraid, even with their own clients, right? This is like a marketing 101 for your portfolio stuff is like, oh, I want to put so many pictures in my portfolio. No, you don't. We're afraid to leave our customers and our prospective customers wanting more. That's the best place you want them. You want them wanting more, right? Because then what do? Pick up the phone and call you.
Of course.
Give them 1,000 pictures to look at. They're just like, oh, man.
No, you're overwhelming them. At that point, you're overwhelming them in the wrong way. You've got to, there's nothing wrong with overwhelming your clients, but you've got to think through what the experience is going to be like. But in the spirit of that, something I wanted to ask you about that I find a huge value of the product is the ability to incorporate Animoto slideshows. Can you talk about that really quick?
Yeah, you can embed those. So you go do your Animoto work and you just drop that embed code. You grab the link and you drop it right inside your sticky album. So now they have their great stills. You can put the same music track you want right into the sticky album, so that plays while they just look at the stills, and then you can also just play the video right there inside. So it just brings together two awesome tools right in one.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, by the way, because we are doing sticky albums and Animoto for our clients for almost every event that goes out the door, and they love it, especially our high-end clients.
Yeah.
So, guys, this is a product you've got to, if you haven't checked out, you've got to check it out. If you're using it or you already have a subscription, for crying out loud, start using it the right way. We've given you several ideas right here, right now. In the spirit of that, Nate, I want to talk about ideas for using the product with your vendors. So everything we've talked about so far is really going towards my client. But I think in the spirit of developing relationships, people are missing the boat on going after vendors, catering halls for seniors, dress shops, reception halls, churches, you name it. We can create a mobile app for them. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think that it's important. Partnering, number one, right? The first lesson here is you've got to be thinking from an authentic place of partnership and what you can offer them, right? Too often I hear photographers falling flat on this because they go in selfishly saying, hey, can I be on your preferred vendor list?
Yeah, give me. I'm not going to do anything for you. Just give me.
Fall flat. You're just going to be right that nobody wants to work with you if you're just going to be a jerk about it. But if you come in from an authentic place of service and saying, hey, just asking people the question like, hey, what are you struggling with in your business? Like, how are you getting new customers? What are your challenges? And just shut up and listen.
Well, you're going to be the trusted advisor at that point.
Exactly. Yep. And so we all know that partnership marketing is not rocket science. It's proven in every industry. And so if you're in a competitive market, other photographers have already done stuff like this, but they're giving them prints or brochures or images they can hang on their wall, right? You're going to have to do something different to get their attention with these really successful vendors that you want on your team. Now you have this awesome way to say, hey, I've made for you your own custom marketing app with your logo, your contact information right on. You can walk in and show it to them. What an awesome way to lead and get your foot in the door. Now you got their attention. It's a pretty powerful way. Photographers are freaking out when they do this. It takes a little bit of legwork, but you know what? When you're working on your business, man, it's so important that photographers stop for a second. Stop being in reactionary mode and just do. Just slow down and focus on spending an hour on a project that's going to pay them 20x that 1 hour worth of work instead of spending an hour editing pictures.
Nate, you're totally right. Doo-doo is bad. Stop doo-dooing.
Exactly.
Sorry, dude. I'm 44 years old. I'm never going to clean up my act. That's just what everybody has to deal with here. Let's talk about the vendor piece of this, because it's something I think me and my team are really, really good at. What we do is we create, and I'm going to talk more about this on Creative Live, so kind of a little selfless plug here. But we're going to be on Creative Live next month, and we're going to be talking about new strategies that we're using for better SEO and showing up for our vendors with using sticky albums. And personally, I'm excited about what we're doing. I think it's brilliant. But what we're doing now is with our top vendors, like you said, we're creating these sticky albums for them. Get on this immediately, guys. This is sweat equity. That's all it is. Invest your time. Everybody's always out there complaining, I have no money for marketing. I have no money for magazine ads. I have no money for direct mail. I have no money. That's great. So if you have no money, the only other thing you're going to have is time. If you have no money and no time, I would say you don't have a business probably. So with that time, what you've got to do is invest sweat equity back into the business. This is going to be taking those images, building those sticky albums. Pick 5 vendors you're working with. And it doesn't only have to be weddings. If you're a portrait client, dress shops, high schools, daycare centers. There's so many things you can do.
Fundraisers? You're talking about working with fundraisers?
Fundraisers.
Perfect, man. Take some pictures of the event, take some pictures of their cause somehow, and you can put a button right to the donation page in their custom app. So now as people donate for the cause, they get a thank you email back and saying, hey, thank you so much for donating to our cause. Here's a custom app that you can share with friends and family to spread the message.
Well, and a call to action, right? So this is marketing, guys. So you've got to have a call to action. You can't just share pretty pictures. So if you're doing something like that with a charity or with your vendors, why not offer in the spirit of being Portrait Month, why not have a picture that you've created that's basically a coupon that you're going to say, register by October 31st, get 50% off your session fee. This is how you start using tools like this. How many jobs do you need to book for it to be worth it? At that point, all you got to do is book one job, just one, and the app is paid for itself. That's the kind of mentality as a business owner you've got to have and start thinking about as you start making big decisions for your business. So, Nate, I gotta get to wrap on this, but I need you to talk to me. Talk to me a little bit about futures. I know you don't like to share too much, but you shared some stuff with me. I'm super excited about it, but what can you tell the audience?
Yeah, we're continuing to always add new features that help you market and grow your business. And the direction we like going is in this partnering with other businesses. It's got so much potential to really bolster your business and have you play bigger in your local market. And so we've got some really exciting things going that direction, and we just keep adding cool things into the app that make it better at being shared. And there's some cool things we're going to build around custom coupons also, so that people can save coupons offline to their phone. Really cool stuff. Always stay tuned. But you mentioned earlier about how it took you a half hour to do both Animoto and Sticky Albums. Time and time again, I remind people, if there's a task you can do that you can record using ScreenFlow or any kind of screencasting free software, if you can record saying, hey, this is how I want you to do this, you can give that task to an intern. Hire a high school student or hire somebody to do these types of things for you, so that every single one of your clients are walking out the door with a Sticky Album. And yes, use it as an incentive, so that the top packages get like 25, 30 images. If they don't get the top package, it doesn't keep you from giving them a free one with 5 images.
Right. That could be a great pull-through. That's a great point. The pull-through doesn't need to be just the app. The pull-through could be the number of images in the app. No, that's brilliant. Well, Nate, always a pleasure having you on. I always love talking to you. And for those of you out there, again, if you haven't given the product a try, give it a try. I promise you will absolutely love it. But we got some great giveaways for you. So here's what we got. Nate is being generous. He's going to give away 1 free year of Sticky Albums. And of course, Virtuoso, we're going to give away 3 free 20 by 30 canvases so that you've got samples. So